Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am in the front of my property. It desperately needs my attention. I am constantly struggling with what part of my property I should be working on. And since this is the front of my property and the first thing people see, I know I need to do something about it. Ooh, the sun's moving right in my face. So I'm out here today and I'm gonna get started. I know that I'm not gonna be able to finish today because I have to do a lot of work. It's a tiny little garden bed, but it's gonna end up being a lot of work. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's the front of the garden bed that I'm talking about. It's cute and it's small. And there's two, I don't know, I think those are burning bushes on either side, and then that is a magnolia tree. And there's all these pavers around the border of it, and they desperately need to all be dug up and cleaned and then replaced. Not replaced as in get rid of them and put new ones. I mean replaced, like put them back into the ground and place them so they're a little more visible. You can't even, from the road, you can't even tell that this has pavers around it. So that's what I mean by replaced. But you can see there's just a ton of weeds and stuff that needs to be taken care of around here. So that is my goal today. My goal today is just to get rid of the weeds and then worry about the rest later. It's really bad over here. You can't even really see the here we go. It's so covered in moss and grass that you can't even tell that there's pavers here. So this one's really bad. You can't see any of it here. So that's my goal. My goal is to get rid of all the weeds that are in here, which hopefully won't take too long, although I have weeded out here before, and these bushes have tons of roots, and it's hard to even like dig down into the dirt because there's so many roots. So that will be the only difficult part as far as weeding goes. And then the other part obviously is going to be getting all those pavers out of there, getting them cleaned up. It's a long weekend, it's a holiday weekend, so I will have some extra time to hopefully get them all out of the ground. And then I can't find the right lighting for, that's better. Sorry. I hopefully can get them out of the ground, get the power washer out, get them power washed because they're really need attention. And I can't wait to see. I've never power washed bricks like that before. I've power washed like the patio and stuff, but I've never done bricks. So I think it'll be great to see what they actually end up looking like once they're power washed and cleaned. So I'm going to start with the weeding, hope that the roots don't give me too much trouble, and then we'll see what time it is, and maybe from there I'll start digging out the pavers. So you will notice that I am wearing gloves today. I have said in the past that I don't like wearing gloves in my garden, and I really don't. I feel like I can pull weeds much better when I'm not wearing gardens. But one of the main reasons I am wearing them today is because of this plant. This, I just looked it up because I had no idea what it was. It's called Sticky Willy. That's its name. It hurts when you touch it. It has like these little thistles on it, and it hurts, like I said, and it like gets stuck to your skin almost like Velcro. That's why I'm wearing gloves. This is actually the only one that I see right now, so I might actually just take my gloves off. Apparently it has like herbal and medicinal uses. I'm not even messing with it. I am getting rid of this. I know that there is a ton of it in one of my back gardens, and it's like completely taken over everything. But for now, I think this is the only one I see. I'm just gonna get rid of it and carry on with my gardening. But it is quite an interesting name, for sure. There is a ton of moss in this front bed, which I think is why I dread doing it so much, because moss is such a pain to get rid of. Like, but I think I must have been out well, I know I was out here before, earlier this spring, and I must have like jostled up all the moss because it is coming out really easily, just in like these big clumps. It's not like totally stuck down into the ground, which like I love gardening, obviously, and I've said before, I love pulling weeds. I just find it therapeutic and relaxing. I hate dealing with moss though, and there's unfortunately is moss all over this property. But I must have done something to come out here and like mess with the moss, because it's not giving me too hard of a time. But like, if you can see, like I said, there was roots all over. Look at these tiny little roots. They're everywhere in here, and it's really hard to like get down into the dirt and like really jostle up the soil, which is something I like to do when I'm gardening, just to, you know, turn the soil over and get it looking nice. So I can't really do that with this, but at least the moss isn't too much of a problem. I just started to pull back the grass a little bit from this one paver, and you can see how overgrown and thick it is with grass, and how deep it goes back. Like, there's still paver way back there that I can't even get to, because, I mean, not with one hand and not having the proper tools, obviously, but it's so overgrown. So I'm really going to have to just get back here with a shovel and get it out that way. But I'm supposed to be focusing on the weeds. So back to weeds. There is so much resistance in here just trying to get your shovel even into the ground because of all of these roots. I'm assuming it's from these bushes, but who knows? Maybe it's not. Maybe the previous owners had something else in here that caused all of these roots, but they're crazy. They're so hard to even get your shovel through. And I feel like getting rid of them is an impossible feat. Plus, is it bad to get rid of them because they're attached to the bushes? I have no idea. I do know that I don't want them. I don't want them on the top of my soil, and I don't want to have to fight with them, but it looks like I don't really have a choice. There was a ridiculous amount of worms in the back of this garden bed. I could not believe everywhere I dug, there seemed to be worms just coming out of everywhere. And it was really surprising because the roots are so tight and just everywhere in that garden that it was surprising to me that there were actually so many worms. They were coming at me from all directions and like literally like crawling out of the garden bed, and I kept having to throw them back in. It was really strange, but I know where I'm going next time we need to dig for worms for fishing. Look at the size of this dandelion leaf. I do not think I've ever seen one that's so big. This is what, oh my god, this is what they normally look like. That is so funny. It's huge. It's way bigger than my hand. It's ginormous. It came off of this huge plant, and to be honest, that would probably be really great in a salad. And I might just cut all these huge leaves off, go wash them up and throw them in my fridge and put them in the next salad that I eat. I just can't believe the size of this thing. It's like, seriously, compared to a normal dandelion leaf, it's like dandelion leaf on steroids. It's crazy. I did ultimately cut all of the leaves off of that one dandelion plant, and I had my scissors out there in case I needed to cut roots or anything, which I know scissors silly. Why didn't you just use a garden tool? Anyways, I ended up cutting a bunch of dandelion leaves, and I brought them all outside and I washed them all up, got all the grass and moss off of them, and I patted them dry and threw them in a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to put them on my next salad. We eat a lot of salads around here. I am hoping though that because it's so big doesn't mean that it's going to be extra bitter. All of them weren't that big. That one was just happened to be an anomaly, but I haven't eaten dandelion leaves yet. But I'm assuming the smaller they are, maybe the less bitter they are. But I'm going to mix them in with some romaine lettuce and some spinach, and I think it'll be really good, and you probably won't even be able to tell, but you will get all of the good nutrients that come with it. Okay, here's something really silly. I used to do this when I was a kid. I don't know why. I think I started it when I would like be sitting at my brother's baseball games while he was playing and I was just screwing around at the park, and it makes me think of my childhood, and it also makes me think of my grandparents because they were always at my brother's games. I would take these leaves and I would go like this and I would make little bushes out of them. It's so stupid, I know, but every time I see one I have to do it because it reminds me of being a kid again, and it's so fun and silly. I don't know, I just thought it would be cute to show you guys. I know, I'm supposed to be waiting. I'm easily distracted. I've said this before. I can't help it. My husband would tell me I can help it, but I really can't. There are a bunch of the Japanese beetle grubs up in this garden as well. So here's one here. They're definitely getting, ooh, he's waking up. They're definitely getting beefier than they were the last time I saw them. They're really disgusting, and I'm getting rid of them because they cause havoc on any sort of vegetation that they decide they want to feed on. So unfortunately, this little guy is going to go in the garbage. Okay, so I did it. It's not my best work, not by a mile, because it was really hard with all of those roots in there to even get through anything. So I did the best I could, kind of, but it looks 100% better now that everything has been weeded, and now all I have left to do is take out I have to dig out all of the concrete bricks and get them power washed and then get them put back in the garden, which that's going to be the hard part. I already did the easy part today. Let me show you. Okay. I was waiting for the sun to go down because you couldn't really tell with the sun blaring bright any of the progress, but it looks really way better than it did. And once I'm able to take all of the blocks out, get them cleaned up and put them back in, it'll look even better. It'll look like an actual defined bed, not just grass. So that's it. A simple, easy project. It didn't take me long at all, and I'm so glad it's done because I was dreading every time I came home or left and I saw the flower bed because it was just not appealing or pleasing to the eye. So it looks much better. I'm happy that it's done. It didn't take me long. I stopped in between just to make some dinner for the family and came back out and finished it up. I did think about putting some flowers in there, but I think it would be really near impossible to even get them in there, first of all, because of all of the roots that are in there. It's really hard to dig deep in there. And then, which was surprising because there were so many worms, I would feel like with all the worms, the soil would be looser, but it was not at all. Plus, it's kind of nice to have at least one low maintenance flower bed because everything else is so not low maintenance. So it's nice. I just have these two bushes, and my daughter's creeping up behind me. All I have is these two bushes and the tree, and I think the more I get out here and loosen up the soil a little bit, it will be easier in the long run to just keep up with getting rid of the moss, and then also with like some of the roots that I dug up, they'll die now, and then I'll be able to just get those out of there as well. But super happy with how it looks now, so stay tuned for next time and I will complete the process.